Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
Over the past 31 years, I've had the joy of traveling repeatedly to many corners of this vast subcontinent that is India. It is amazing to see how landscapes, culture, food, music, dances, and even languages change every few hundred kilometers that you drive. You see the highest mountains of the world, great seas, bountiful rivers, and best of all, a people whose thoughts and heritage go back a few thousand years. Join us on an enthralling journey. I am traveling again across the whole of India to bring you spectacular India. It is fascinating to imagine Kashmir in ancient times. Amid the highest mountains of the world, this valley lay at a crossroads of culture. It was a great crucible where people and ideas came from the most developed civilizations then. Kashmir was on the busy Silk Route between Asia and Europe. It became an important trading center in the heart of the Asian continent. Traders from Khotan, Yarkand and Kashgar and other trading posts between China and the Mediterranean passed through here. The caravans of merchants traded in silk, shawls, wool, carpets, spices, silver, turquoise, salt, tea and tobacco. Besides the exchange of goods from different lands, this resulted in a rich fusion of cultures and ideas of art and philosophy. Thus were laid the deep foundations of one of the most refined and cosmopolitan cultures of the world. In the Rajatirangini, historical record of Kashmir, the writer Kalhana says, Kashmir, with its streams and cascades, the flower-strewn meadows, the soft, cloud-draped skies, the far vistas of snow on the mountains, the dawn and sunset skies that hold all the roses and gold in an artist's palette. In all times, people from all parts of the world who have come to Kashmir have responded most eloquently to its natural beauty. The enchanting beauty of the valley inspired Emperor Jahangir to write in his memoirs, "The red rose, the violet and the narcissus grow of themselves." Truly this is the paradise of which priests have prophesied and poets have sung. Agar firdaus bar ruye zami ast, hami ast, hami ast, hami ast. If there is a paradise upon earth, it is this, it is this, it is this.
Amid the beauty of nature, Bhakti and Sufi traditions took deep root in Kashmir soil. Both traditions believe that the individual self has to be lost in order to gain knowledge of the universal self. Both find the path to this awakening to be through love and joyous surrender to the divine. This personal love for the divine is expressed through Kashmiri songs and poetry. The people of Kashmir have taken the best and finest of what the world has to offer. Here was created a culture of understanding and love, which has continued over the ages and is known as Kashmiriyat.
When one studies the cultural history of any region, the geography of the place is inseparable from the development of that culture. Kashmir, the Valley of Kashmir, is a perfect example of this. When one sees the role that the waterways have played, be it the ample lakes, the rivers, the canals, one realizes that the flourishing agriculture, because of the availability of this water, leads to a situation which allows for the development of great cultural traditions as well. The Kashmir Valley then serves as a crucible where great cultures met and a sort of cosmopolitanism develops. But one always needs to remember that the gentle cosmopolitan culture that develops in the Kashmir Valley is informed by this deep tradition of mysticism, which seems almost obvious when one looks at the great natural beauty around in the valley.
Srinagar, the present capital of the state of Kashmir, is built around the beautiful Dal Lake. The people of Srinagar were originally fishermen. They lived on the water in boats with thatched roofs. Over the passage of time, these became bigger and many comforts were added. Today, the Dal Lake in Srinagar is populated like a township. The lake has a shoreline of 15.5 kilometers. Beautiful gardens were made by the Mughal emperors on the banks of the lake.
The vast Dal Lake is home to scores of thousands of people. Their houses, their shops, their marketplaces, even their villages are in the middle of the lake. Living with water has been a long tradition with the people of Kashmir. There are large floating marketplaces on the Dal. People buy and sell just like on the land.
1 piece, 2 rupees.
You could stop and have a snack.
ये क्या चीज़ है भाई?
Roasted corn is a favorite with people across the country. This is the neighborhood butcher's shop. We do not have to go very far to get clothes made. Tourists mingle with the local people and enjoy the sights. Flower sellers are a colourful sight in the middle of the water. Here we see utensils being taken in a boat for a wedding feast. The food for the party follows behind.
कहाँ ले जा रहे हैं?
घर में हमारी शादी है उन्हीं के लिए।
अच्छा, वो बर्तन जो जा रहे थे वो कहाँ जा रहे थे?
वो भी हमारे घर पे जाएंगे, उसमें मतलब हम कश्मीरी वाजवान बनाते हैं इसके अंदर।
Little boys and girls learn to move about on the water. When they are older, I wonder if the grandmother will one day issue them a driving license to take the boat out on their own. Like in the towns, there is a complex system of lanes and by-lanes. The only difference is that the men are often moving about in the very house they live in. Cooking and family life does not appear very different from that on the land. The advantage of living here appears to be the beauty which is all around us. You could take a peaceful boat ride whenever you wish to. Here at 5 o'clock in the morning, we are at the Sabzi Mandi in the middle of the lake. Here, the vegetable sellers collect their fresh goods every morning. Having taken them from here, they will go to street corners and shops in Srinagar to sell them. Vegetables are grown in more than 1,000 acres all around the Dal Lake. In the wee hours of the morning, the cultivators bring their vegetables here to the Sabzi Mandi to sell them. One of the largest selling items are lotus stems, which grow abundantly in the lake. They are considered a great delicacy of Kashmiri cooking. Numerous other vegetables are grown around and in the lands of the Dal, and you will find these on sale here. It is a lively scene, perhaps unchanged over many centuries. Visitors find it fascinating to see the local colour displayed here, as men bargain with vigour over the prices of the goods. There are 900 houseboats on the banks of the Dal Lake. They are grandly furnished with exquisite carved furniture and woolen carpets with intricate work on them. The idea is to give one a place for a dream holiday. Unlike most boats which move about, these houseboats are anchored in the lake. These are like floating palaces. They have the conveniences of modern living as well as a treasure of the best handicrafts for which Kashmir is famous. There are numerous little boats called shikharas on the lake. These ferry passengers between the shores and the houseboats and shops which are on the water. Each houseboat has its own shikhara for its guests.
As a visitor to Kashmir, I think one of the best ways to experience the culture of waterways, which is so integral to the culture of Srinagar, is to stay on a houseboat. Not only does this allow one to, sort of experience the changing light on the waters of the lakes through the day, it also allows one to become familiar with the rich tradition of handicrafts in Kashmir. Whether it's the beautiful carpets which floor these houseboats, or whether it's the exquisitely carved wooden furniture, or even the ceilings in these houseboats.
The heritage of the Kashmir Valley is very rich. Over the centuries, numerous travellers and settlers have left their impression on its culture. The handicrafts of Kashmir, like pashmina shawls, papier-mâché products, silk carpets and woodwork, are admired throughout the world. Handicrafts are a part of the lives of the Kashmiri people. The farmer is often also a weaver. The woodcarver, who makes beautiful walnut wood furniture, is also usually a talented mason, a houseboat builder. He may also be a maker of ceilings called khatam band, which is special to Kashmir. These have beautiful geometric designs. Wooden ceilings are used to give warmth to a room.
One can only marvel at the skill of the artist who makes these exquisite wooden carvings out of walnut wood, which is very characteristic of the Kashmir Valley. Most often one sees the depiction of nature, whether it's intertwined vines or the leaves of the chinar tree. And looking upon this carving, which is literally layer upon layer of, sculpture, it goes much beyond mere skill. One realizes that this is a tradition of art, and looking at these carvings, one realizes that this goes beyond mere skill. It's really the art of somebody who's an integral part of the natural beauty around. This art is deeply rooted in nature, and in fact the beauty of these wooden carvings is almost mystic, and that sort of mystic experience which derives out of the natural beauty of the Kashmir Valley.
The 16th century historical record, Ain-e-Akbari, tells of exquisitely soft Kashmiri shawls which were very popular in distant lands. These shawls reached the shoulders of Josephine Bonaparte in 1798. For the next 60 years, the Kashmiri shawl was an important article of high fashion in Europe, especially in France. French shawl companies actually sent designs to Kashmir to be executed here. The colors reflect the range found in nature in Kashmir, from the rich autumn colors to the brilliant blues of the water.
According to some, it was the Mughals who introduced the concept of such a houseboat in Kashmir. In fact, it was Emperor Akbar who made the design based upon houseboats he had seen at Banaras. It suited the British very well to carry forward this tradition of luxury and grace.
Members of the British Civil Service used to holiday often in Kashmir. The climate suited them and they wished to build homes here. However, the Maharaja of Kashmir would not allow them to build permanent residences. The houseboats suited them well. They renovated them according to their own taste, with luxurious living rooms, dining rooms and bedrooms. The first was designed in 1888 and was called Victory.
There is a grace to living on the water like this. At least there are no traffic jams, there are no loud vehicles, there is no pollution. Perhaps this is the way of the future. The Valley of Kashmir has long been a paradise, not only of the beauty of nature, but also of the development of some of the finest and gentlest thoughts of mankind. Kashmir is a many-splendored land which has attracted emperors, sages, poets and artists. Here in this crucible of cultures, they have all contributed to create one of the most cosmopolitan places in the world. In this valley, religions have flourished and philosophies have been born. Truly an enchanted land which has shown the way to the brotherhood of man.